Good morning. How are you today? The holiday single launch fragrance of 2025 is officially here, and it's time to take a deep dive into what it smells like. So as you probably noticed, I am dressed for the occasion because our new fragrance that is launching at Bath & Body Works is called Touch of Gold. Here's what it looks like in the fine fragrance mist. I will be pulling most of my review based on what this mist smells like, although I have tried the body cream on my skin in stores, and I have some insight about the body cream as well. So I will share that with you too. But first of all, we got to talk about some of the forms you're going to see. So of course we have our classic standard shower gel, body lotion, body cream, and fine fragrance mist. You're going to see a full size as well as a smaller stick size in the concentrated perfume EDPs. I believe there's going to be body butter and body scrub, although I haven't seen those come in yet. And I do know that there will be for sure some moisturizing body wash as well. I think I even saw a lip gloss come in shipment. So I think that would make for a great holiday gift, or of course something very pretty to wear on your lips during the holiday parties that you may go to. Somewhere between fall 2 and fall 3 historically is when Bath & Body Works launches their single launch fragrance that is supposed to be kind of their main feature, put it on a pedestal, signature fragrance of the holiday season. And that is what Touch of Gold is this year. To put it into perspective, last year it was platinum, although they did kind of sneak Perfect in Pink in there as well as another single launch fragrance that was kind of like a holiday feature as well. Usually these fragrances are marketed as being the must-have scent of the season. They are perfect for gifting because of the way that they package them. They are festive without necessarily being specifically Santa Claus and snowmen and Christmas themed. So that way it makes it so it can perfectly transition after the holiday season into our core signature fragrance collection. Just taking a closer look at this packaging, you can see of course the gold color is the main feature about this fragrance. I think this one is similar to Platinum in terms of its marketing and theme. It's kind of themed as being a party fragrance. Everything you touch turns to gold. It's a little bit more sophisticated and luxurious and expensive feeling than necessarily Platinum, which was a little bit more of the fun side of the party. This is a little bit more on the bougie side. We have this fun texture on the cap this time. The ridginess kind of adds to that luxury feeling. Price point on the fine fragrance mist is $18.95, which does make it reward eligible, and the fragrance notes are listed as bright blackberries, golden orange blossom, and decadent tonka bean. Here it also says, add a hint of shine to your everyday with this indulgent blend of gilded fruit and a bit of floral warmth. So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into what these fragrance notes are, and then we can smell it on the card and on my skin. I like to pull from the product knowledge of my brain and compare newer scents to something that maybe you've smelt from Bath & Body Works in the past, so that way you can kind of get a ballpark theme of where we're going with the new fragrance. So this one, when I read the notes, it reminds me a lot of scents like Fairy Tale and a little bit like In the Sun. Without even necessarily smelling it, those are the fragrances that I think it's going to smell like the most. I know it has some blackberry in it, which I feel like Bath & Body Works hasn't done blackberry very often lately, so it's nice to kind of bring a berry back to the collection that's a little bit more of a depthy, darker berry. Golden orange blossom, I know oftentimes people think of apple blossom and orange blossom as being fruity scents, but actually these are florals because it is talking about the bloom of the fruit rather than the fruit itself. So when it says orange blossom, keep in mind that that is actually a creamy white floral. So when you see the note listing of neroli, that actually is a type of orange blossom, which to me it smells kind of sunscreeny a little bit. It has kind of a solar, sun on your skin meets salty, creamy kind of vibe to it. So I find that orange blossom can go a little bit on the sunscreeny side, which pops another fragrance into my mind that this potentially could be similar to, and that is Gingham Glow. Tonka bean is technically the seed of a legume, something similar to a pea, but fragrance-wise it comes off as being similar to a vanilla kind of scent. It's a little bit more of a nutty, caramely scent usually. That tells me hopefully we're going to be bringing in something a little bit more depthy and maybe even sweet, hopefully. Let's spray it on the blotter card and see what we think. Ooh, this is really interesting. It does have a holiday party vibe. Just based on the first sniff, it does smell luxurious and fancy to me, like going to a holiday party. Sniffing it here, it does remind me a little bit of platinum in the fragrance as well, although I will say that the platinum had a little bit more of a bite, while this one has a little bit more warmth to it, which makes sense because silver is cool toned, and I feel like that was the theme for platinum, while you think of gold as being warm toned, and there's got to be a warmth to the fragrance or else it just doesn't really make sense. So I feel like they captured that aspect quite well. When I'm smelling this, I'm not really getting a strong sense of fruity notes. I feel like it's just sneakily a part of the blend as opposed to being like, this is a blackberry scent with other notes in it. Think of scents like blackberries and basil, or maybe even black raspberry vanilla, where it's like, this is a fruit scent and then it has some sweetness in the back, or this is a fruit scent and it has some herbaceous notes in the back. To me, this is not a blackberry forward fragrance. It's a little bit on the warm and spicy side, kind of similar to In the Stars or Thousand Wishes. It's not as creamy as Thousand Wishes, and it's not as peppery as In the Stars, but it kind of is falling in that category of a little bit warm, a little bit spicy. As it dries down, it's starting to get a little bit more, I don't want to say creamy because it doesn't really feel creamy to me. It must be the tonka bean, a little bit caramely, I guess, not in a decadent gourmand sort of way though. To me, I want to say of those 3 note listings, the blackberry, the orange blossom, and the tonka bean, I feel like the orange blossom is the star of the show here. I often associate floral scents with sophistication, and so it kind of brings in that floral sophisticated scent. Orange blossom I feel like was a good choice for bringing in warmth though, because it does have that solar note, kind of you've been outside in the sun smell, very similar to Gingham Glow, very similar to In the Sun. That being said, the fragrance this reminds me of the most, and I predicted it, was Fairy Tale. It has a little bit of a creamy sweetness, a little bit citrusy or orangey, fruity, but predominantly a floral with this kind of creamy, warm background. I'm gonna spray this on my skin and see what it does with my body chemistry, and while I spray that, I will tell you a little bit about the body cream. I tried the Touch of Gold body cream on my skin in stores, and it smelled completely different on my skin in that form than it does in the spray. I liked the body cream a lot better for my own personal preference. I tend to be more of a gourmand and maybe even a fruity enjoyer of fragrance for my personal use, and so florals and woodsy notes tend to scare me away. I do not enjoy the way those smell on my skin personally. And so when I tried the body cream, I feel like there was this honey kind of scent that came out. I felt like it came off more gourmand in the cream. It had kind of like an orange honey blossom kind of scent on my skin, which was really pleasant. It was very gentle, very sweet, but still had that kind of fancy perfumed kind of scent, but way more on the cutesy, warm honey kind of side. Let's spray it and see if it does the same thing on my skin in the spray, or if it does something different. Yeah, just on initial spritz, it does really have a much warmer, sweeter scent to it on my skin than just in the spray or on the blotter card, which is good for me because I like sweeter scents. Surprisingly lots of honey notes, which I assume is coming from the orange blossom. Oftentimes you think of honey as being something from jasmine, but this has a very cutesy, warm, almost juicy kind of honey scent to it, which is really interesting because on the note listing it doesn't say anything about honey, but we can kind of assume that that's what's being pulled from orange blossom. Also tonka bean. I'm not as familiar with smelling tonka bean by itself. Maybe the tonka bean is what's giving it that depth and that warmth, something a little bit more caramely. Once again, it's really important to try it on your skin. It will perform completely different and you'll notice different things. You might like it more, you might like it less. I think to summarize, Touch of Gold I would classify as being predominantly a warm, floral, spicy fragrance. The warmth and the sweetness of the fragrance really did come out on my skin, but wasn't nearly as present when you just spray it on a paper card. This is not something I would classify as gourmand, but it did have a little essence of sweet just because of the way it played on my body chemistry. This is gonna be such a fun and sparkling, vibrant feature piece for the holiday season. I think this is gonna be a great gifting fragrance, especially in the concentrated perfume. I think if anybody needs a little shimmer in their life, this will make for a great gift for the holiday season. So I can't wait for you to see it in stores, and let me know what you think about this fragrance down in the comments below. Is this something that you're interested in trying for the holiday season or maybe gifting this holiday season? I hope this review was helpful and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.